The weather forecast said that there'd be rain for 40 days. So Noah built an ark, which was the object of much praise. He gathered every bird and beast that o'er the earth did roam, and told them, for the next 6 weeks this ark will be your home. It'll be our home. Now Noah, knowing that the rain would soon begin to pour, and that a giant task like this had never been done before, said to his furry feathered friends, "Listen please to me, line up nicely 2 by 2, alphabetically." If you've ever stood in a rainy line waiting for a bus, you know that sometimes people can be quite discourteous. Imagine then those animals all gathered there together, waiting to get on the ark out of the nasty weather. They mumbled and they grumbled as they stumbled to their places, with gloomy, grim, and grumpy gray expressions on their faces. No one, whether beauty, brute, or beast, likes to be told that they should line up nice and neat while standing out in the cold. It's getting cold. The aardvarks smiled at Noah's alphabetical request, acting snobbishly like they were better than the rest. Imagine then the feelings of the zebra and the yak when they were told to stand in line at the very back.
Ha! Why do we always have to be at the back? Yikes, not alphabetically.
One zebra complained.
We're going to be the last one standing out here in the rain. Just for once, please, Noah, can't the lineup be reversed? With aardvarks going last and yaks and zebras going first?
But Noah didn't seem to notice all of the complaining. All he seemed to notice was that it had started raining. He barely heard the mooing or the barking and the baying, the squeaking, the squealing, the squawking and the neighing, various hisses, assorted howls, honks and hoots, grunts and growls, bleats and bellows, barnyard clatter, jungle jabber, and chitter chatter. Noah had a whole lot more important things to do, like making sure the animals were lined up safely, 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Hardly any animals cooperated nicely. In the drizzly cold, they treated one another icily. The bears and beavers didn't like the arrogant aardvark, and the cats got quite annoyed soon as the dogs began to bark. The elephants were cranky as they turned round to the frogs. "Quit shoving," said the elephants. "We're squished against the dogs." "What's the matter, hose nose?" one fearless froggy croaked. "Big boy getting all upset because he's wet and soaked? We're squishing you, it's not our fault, this lineup is a laugh. Why, we can hardly breathe because we're being squeezed by 2 giraffes, who in turn, it appears, are being forced to force us because they're being pushed and pressured by the hippos, hyenas, and horses." ibis and the ibex were the only creatures present whose manners and behavior could be described as pleasant. We're not too well known and felt both honored and excited when Noah said he wanted us. It's nice to be invited. But pleasant conversations there were far between and few. The jaguar was being jostled by the jumpy kangaroo. The kiwi and koala were completely nervous wrecks. You'd be nervous too with lions breathing down your neck. The llama made a drama out of being next to the mule and said, "Well, you hee-haw, you sound just like a fool," which only caused the mule to bray louder than before. And nerves began to fray as record rains began to pour. It's starting to pour. The nightingales didn't like the odor of the ox, who blamed it on the pigs, who blamed it on the two peacocks. Even both the quails, who were usually quite quiet, quarreled with the rooster, who was making quite a riot.
What are you crowing for? It's not even morning.
With all of the commotion and more tempers getting lost, a turtle accidentally got trampled by a sloth. "Hey, what's going on back there?" the rhino rightly asked.
I don't know,
The turtle said.
it happened all so fast. It happened so fast.
Unhappy with their place in line, the unique unicorns left the pandemonium, honking on their horns. The vipers wished that they could take a voyage somewhere else, while the weasels went, "Wow, we can really be ourselves." They can be themselves. The xerus, a ground squirrel of African descent, added to the uproar with a yelp of discontent. And sulking in the muddy line, way at the very back, yelling how unfair it was,
It's just not fair.
the zebra and the yak. It's not fair. Looking at the long line in the racket and the rain, Noah didn't hear a single thing that they were saying. He barely heard the mooing or the barking and the baying, the squeaking and the squealing, the squawking and the neighing, various hisses, assorted hows, honks and hoots, grunts and growls, bleats and bellows, barnyard clatter, jungle jabber, and chitter chatter. He was more concerned with making sure he hadn't missed any of the animals that God had put on the list. Nobody will ever know all of Noah's story. He did as God had bid, but it was not all hunky-dory. We know God asked him for the ark, and that with his sons he built it, and that with each bird and beast that ever roamed the earth he filled it. But there's still so much we don't know surrounding Noah's life. There's much debate about the name of his devoted wife. We do know that he had 3 sons, Ham, Japheth, and Shem. And legend has it Noah used to say, I'm very proud of them. They're my boys.
They're his boys.
Considering the role he played in human history, many things about his life remain a mystery. No one knows exactly where he finally parked the ark, and even fewer people know that Noah's last name was Zark.
Noah's
And since his last name was Zark, starting with a Z, he realized how unfair it was to say alphabetically. But it was raining hard now and getting cold and dark, so he said to the aardvarks, lead the way, and watched all the animals board the ark. So how, you ask, did Noah, without any paid employees, handle all the ruckus and the racket and the noise? He managed thanks to his sons' hard work and clever engineering. And the fact that Noah, bless his soul, was hard of hearing. What did they say about me?
They said you're hard of hearing.
So if your friends have names like Yanni, Zelda, Zeke, or Zach, make sure they aren't mistreated, like the zebra and the yak. Should coach or teacher say, kids, line up alphabetically, say, okay, but just today, let's start with X, Y, Z. And so, all you curious, brilliant girls and boys, that's the story of Noah's Ark and all that wild noise. Allow me then to finish off with Noah's famous quote, be kind to one another, we're all in the same boat.
The same boat.
The same boat.